My name is Mitchell. I also go by Royce online, and on YouTube I'm Royce the Mons Master, and on Twitch I'm just plain old Royce. I took 8th place with Numemon this weekend at the online play TCG. I played all 9 rounds due to the new rules. Round 1 I played Imperial, round 2 I played Imperial, round 3 I played Omni Turbo, round 4 I played against the Golden Vaccine or the Yellow Vaccine Numemon X, whatever you want to call it. Round 5 I played Mirage, round 6 I had a Numemon Mirror, took it 2-0. Round 7 I played UlForce, took it 2-1. Round 8 I played our winner in the Mirror and took and lost it 0-2. And then for the 9th round I played against another Yellow Vaccine Numemon X and lost it 1-2 into overtime. So let's go through the deck profile. First, the eggs. The eggs are the same ones that everybody else black base is playing. You got the 4 Sunos and the 1 Toko, or the bad egg, as I like to call him. The first 8 cards is, of course, going to be your Ukomons. This is pretty much a Uko deck, not a Numemon deck. So your promo Ukos are going to be the ones that gain you 1 memory and the 0 to evolve, while your BT16 Ukos are going to get you that 3 search, but it's 1 to evolve, so it gets you that choke. Next is going to be my floodgates. So I was just playing a 2-2 split, so 2 Chukuri and 2 Chu. Chukuri is here to prevent you from getting Death X to death. Chukuri is there to prevent any memory gain from Yellow Vaccine or from any Mirages, just generally a good floodgate. You can put them out about any time. Next, we get into our Numemons. So we have the 4 discard Garys. This is probably one of the best cards in the deck, one of your best turn 1 or turn 2 starts. You play this and you discard a Platinum is a very main play that you want to do. Next is our 4 Cop Numes. I was playing 4. I could have probably gone down to 3 and been okay, but I really love the blocker inherit. That allows you to block off of any Digimon. It's just a general blocker. Also, the Rush with Satsuki, that does come up quite often. Next, we have our 4 Numemon X. This makes your whole deck sticky and it allows you to play out Platinum Numes for free. It's a great card, and you just can get so much draw off it. I mean, it's just a good card overall. Next, we have my 2 Security Minus Garymons, or other Numes, as their Numes in name due to the text rule. They are there to subtract Security Attack -1 for Numemon X. So I really prepped this Numemon deck against Numemon X, was what I was really focusing on. Now, if you can pretty much lock them into -1 security and prevent them from getting any security, they can't get their effect, which makes them way easier to kill. Next, we're going to go to our level 5s, which we have the RB1 Monzimon. Just a great card in general. Now, I do want to point out that it's 2 different effects for the -3k and -1 security attack and the gaining 2 memory when you do the on play to tuck. So they could actually even have out floodgates. They could have a Chumon on field, play this out for 7. Then you can go ahead and your first on play, give it -3, -1, and then tuck in your Nume. Now it's actually a 5 cost because you'll delete their floodgate before you actually get the memory. Next is our 2 Warus. I was playing the Warus. Now this was for the Digivolve, and this was also possibly for the mirror matches to be able to prevent any 5 cost or less from attacking and Digivolving our lovely aces out there. Then our real champion here, Monzimon X. This does everything for the deck. Once you Digivolve on top of a Monzimon, you can play any level 3. That's your Ukos, that's your Floodgates, or any Numemon that's level 5 and below. So that gets you all of your level 4s. Well, actually, it's any Numemon, but just a pure name, so it's going to be any of them. Alright. Now, on top, we do have 2 Valk Aces for your Valks. And we do have 2 of the Venuses. Okay. Valk Ace, best ace possible. You go ahead and ace off of your Monzi X. When you ace off your Monzi X, or any of your Monzi, you minus 5k, and you also delete an 8k whenever they hit security, or you get another security attack that lasts onto your turn. Then Venus is for Venus locking. I went ahead and I was playing 2. This is to Venus lock Mirage. This is Venus lock Imperial. This is to Venus lock any of the other decks that you could have issues with. I'm playing 3 Platinums, which is standard in my opinion. Then I am playing 2 Ruin modes. A lot of people are playing 1 Ruin and 1 Death X. I was really onto the 2 Ruin to subtract a bunch of DP off of my opponent's board. I turn 2 Ruined way too often, so that's kind of... I really love it, but Death X would have came in handy as well. Then I have 2 of the Satsuki Tamers and 2 Louis, and then 1 of the X Antibody. So that's all the cards in the deck. Pretty simple. Now, what I would have changed maybe, Waru did not come up as much as I wanted. I really should have just played the EX5 Edamons to kind of force people into getting into a position where I could Valk Ace them. Valk Ace is an MVP. That card's OP and does a lot of work for this deck, and this deck's just sticky enough that it helps out quite a bit. I would still debate about if I wanted to play if I'd play 1 Ruin, 1 Death X. That might be something that would come up. I do like my security attack minus Garymons. I would probably keep them as well. So, combos, there is tons of combos in this deck that you can do. Like I alluded to earlier, you could go ahead and you can... So, like, mattering on if you go turn 1 or turn 2, you really want the 1-cost Uko to start controlling memory. You really want to start choking up your opponent as fast as you can, because then you are in control of the game. So if you go first, you pretty much can just go here for 1, and then your opponent usually does a 3-cost move that will put you back to 2. And then you promote, hatch, and then you go for another rookie, maybe another Uko, and you usually try to play it, if you can, you play out Garymon, and you go ahead and you discard your Platinum. Then on the following turn, you go ahead and you promote, hatch, get your memory, and you go into an X if you can. Once you go into an X, there's different possibilities here. So if you need more cards, most of the possibilities that you swing, but if you have these eggs, now you're getting the search for the first one, and then you're getting 1, 2, 3 draws off of this Numi X on turn 3. So like it's just so much draw. You should be able to draw into other things. Once you get like let's say I got into a Rune mode in hand, and I have this setup, then it's pretty nasty. Where this is what happened to my Imperial opponents that I was playing. Like turn 2, I got this pretty much the same setup. I played a Gary, discarded Nume, Platinum Nume, got a Ruin mode in hand, was able to Digivolve into Nume X. Go ahead and swing, hope you die. If you don't think you'll die in security, which most of the time you will, you can swing into Suspended Digimon. So I swung, he died. Play out Nume. Go ahead and discard another Nume. So I like to discard good old police Numes. This is my preferred trash, is these 3 cards. Once you get a police Nume in trash, that allows you to be really flexible with your Monzis, because you can then tuck in blocker if you need a blocker, or you can tuck in the X if you want to be a little sticky, which is great. So you go ahead and you discard another Nume, so I can have my ideal trash. Play out your platinum. Now at this point, I'm usually pretty comfortable with swinging the Ukos if I don't think they have any security bombs that would delete my platinum. Even if they did have one, if I have a Monzi, it's fairly easy, or it's very possible I can get back into another platinum Nume, because so let's say that they do delete this platinum Nume, you get to play out a Monzi for free. So a lot of times I will play out a Monzi here, and then you go ahead and you grab up the X. Unless you think that they're going to swing some big bodies and you have Valk Ace in hand, then you can go ahead and you can tuck in the blocker. And then you can really start going off again, because you could have a Monzi X, you go into a Monzi X, and then you can go ahead and play out another comp if you have rush, or you can play out a Gary if you're really trying to draw into another platinum, because you could technically draw into another platinum and then go into a Ruin, or sometimes you play a cop and then you go ahead and tuck underneath your own Satsuki and you give this rush. So you would have gained 2 off of the platinum, and you would have gained 2 again off of the Monzi, so you could potentially be at 6 from 2 memory if they decide to kill your platinum, and then now you have 2 checks. So very, very dangerous really quick on that as well. But you can get that platinum and then just go straight into a Shine Gray. Once you go into the Ruin mode, then you're really cooking, because if it's like turn 2 that you go into a Ruin, then they most likely only have a champion in the back. They might have been doing some setup. So you're preventing them from promoting up, and the next turn you get to swing and prevent another 5k as well. And if your Ukos didn't die, you have game next turn. If they did die, you still had 1, 2, 3 swings, a Rookie and Raising, which would probably be 4, and then this is 5, so that's 5 swings. If you have an Uko and Raising, then only thing you need, if you have the Memory Uko, you play the Memory Uko and Raising if you have the Louis, because then you can get enough memory to only do Louis for 1, and that makes it so that you can promote up and swing for game. You never use Louis to promote up your rookie unless you know that it's going to be like for game and safe. Or if you're doing an early game to get more aggression in, that's also fine. But you save it, you conserve it, so that way if they do have a option card that you don't accidentally get your new rookie killed. That would be bad. So you can like Uko cycle, and that's also very gross. Uko cycle is pretty much where you would have, once you have, let's say you promote this Uko, hatch another, and go into another. So like they could put you at 1, now you're at 2. You can't really promote it at the time, but if you played a Louis, you're playing the Louis for 1 and hatching another egg. So You play this Louis down for 3, promote this up, gain a memory, hatch, gain a memory. So this is also a very good turn 2 move where you just do that, and now you have a Louis and get free memory every turn. The Louis and Satsuki's really help offset like Digimon Emperor, but it does not prevent Digimon Emperor from giving you a hard time, especially if they get like 2 on board. Like that can give you a lot of sticky issues. So there's a few combos here or there. These Garys come in handy for when you're Venus locking. So once it's over anything, so once again you can Monzies and tuck this underneath. And so every single time that this has 1 attacking, it goes ahead and gives something sec attack -1. So you get into like a stack like this, right? And so you can swing over small bodies if they weren't already Venus locked, or if they're trying to suspend it for some effect or something like that. You swing over the small bodies, you give their big Magnet X a -1, and now you're really cooking where they're like, I'm locked, I can't do anything, and then they don't get their 1 Digivolving effect, and then you just delete it with your good old Monzi power. So Monzi power here, you can delete pretty quick, okay? So you don't need much. Theoretically, if you had 1 Uko here, so you get, let's say you play a Gary out and you Digivolve for 3 at one point, so that's -3k, okay? -3. Then you go ahead and you Digivolve here, draw, and then you play out another Nume, right? That's -6, so that's -9. Alright? And then only thing you have to do is get into another Monzi, and now you're at -12. And that's all it takes. That's -12 right there. They could, if they're bigger, then you need another body. So that's where if you Digivolve there, you play out the Louis for the 1, and get that going, and then you could have another body for free pretty much, for 1 cost, and then if you do that, then you're -8. So that'll be -8k. So -3 -8, that's -11, -14. Or you could, if you really just got it, which I did for one of my Imperial games, went here, discarded, cost me 1, and then you just go into a Ruin, and now you could have -8, so you could have had -3, -8, so -11, minus another 5, so that's -16k. So you do this type of stuff so that way the Ruin is super important when you get like partition and stuff like that. They partition out and then they instantly die to the Ruin blanket. You could even do the Valkyries on your own turn to get the extra 5k to delete everything as well. So that's also a possibility. You can go ahead and go here and delete their whole board. Super nasty stuff. You got way too many tools with Nume to really have any issues. Now, these would allow you to force an attack and still do it -3, so kind of works as like another Monzi. When I was doing my match with Huang, he ended up having a great turn where he Edamoned me and then forced me to swing it in so he could Valk Ace me. And that was kind of one of the game-winning plays for him. I was actually really good on board. I was set up. I had Yumi X, but I didn't have any Platinums in trash. And he forced my Monzi, I think it was my Monzi X, to swing in to him. And then he aced me. I hit security. He deleted my Monzi X stack. and it just went super downhill from there, and I went from nearly winning a game to just being slaughtered. Then I had another game where I actually was controlling it. I had the Valcase out, and I literally just had the Valcase out, but I gave him too much memory. I was having a rough time. I gave him too much memory with whatever my play was. I think I had a Monzi or something like that. Ended up passing him too much. Passed him enough, and then he gained enough memory to go to 7, and he literally just Death X'd my board, which was just one stack, for 17. Put me at 10, and then got the overflow to 6. So, I mean, like, and then I couldn't clear out that Death X that turn, so it just got progressively worse for me. I had like a handful of Ukos, and like I just could not get draws going on, and that kind of was the issue at the time. So the Imperials, I faced both of the Imperials off the bat. First guy, the first game, he really didn't see any pieces, and then I just ran him over the first game. Second game, I got the Gary to Platinum to Ruin Mode combo out, like turn 2. And by that time, he was so behind, like he couldn't do anything. Because a lot of times what both of these Imperial players were doing were they were playing the Davis and Ken and giving me 3 memory to start with, or something like that. So I just Gary and then just go to the good old Numemon X, promote out, I'd promote out or whatever, and then digivolve for 1, giving them 1 so they could, they couldn't even digivolve all the way to a Paldramon to get off my board, or they were missing a piece, and so those games went really quick. Both round 1 and round 2 were very similar to me, and like I had no issues. Round 3 was the Omnimon Turbo. He started off each time playing out one of the 6-cost Dark Masters level 5s, and gave me 6 memory, and then put a Machindermon in the back, and eventually digivolved it into Omni. But game 1, I just rushed him. He couldn't do anything. I was like, okay, cool, my body's died to whatever you have in security. Don't really care, because you're only getting 1 check in, and I'm getting 3-4 checks in per turn, so I won by like turn 3 or 4. Game 2, he ended up not being able to find an Omni at all, and his Machindermon died. Then I cleared his board, so he had no board, and I was free to do whatever I wanted, and so he just could not do anything with me. The first yellow vaccine, so like I was saying, you can Venus lock them. So I Venus locked his Magnamon X 1 game, and then I just went ahead and just deleted it and just kept on swinging out. Then one of the other games, he didn't see the Pada / level 4s, and if yellow vaccine low rolls like that where they don't see their security with the level 4s, if you just remove their security, they start losing resources real quick. So you can just go ahead and start deleting, and they won't get their level 5s or level 6s inside their security. And then it's all you. Like, once you get rid of their security, they lost that resource, and now they have a lot of issues on hand. Mirage, he just was a little too slow. I just rushed him out, and then one of the games I Venus locked, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm safe. You can't really do anything, and I'm just going to push up Ukos and go ahead and swing on out, and that's what I did. Round 6 was the Numemon. This was another one where I got to Valk Ace, and I got to do Ruin Mode stuff. I got him to like a 10k on board. I think it was a 10 or a 15k drain on board, so like once you get up that high, even their platinums like instantly die, and if you get to the 10k mark, then they can't even play out Monzimons next turn, and when they can't play Monzimons out next turn, then like that's a huge issue for them. So they literally have like no plays but for Tamers, and that's if they're even playing any Tamers. UlForce was fun. I wasn't expecting to see it. One of the games I just rushed it down, no issues. The other game I was missing some pieces and he was just bouncing me left and right. I got a Valk and he bounced the Valk and that felt really bad. But then the third game, I really ended up controlling the board really well and got into one rune mode one turn and then another rune mode, I believe another turn, and just locked him out. So like he couldn't push up any of the rookies, and I was just keep on putting pressure on, keep on DPing drain, and that just was a win at that point. The Numemon mirror with Wong, he just went at him on and forced me and Valgaced me. That was it. The golden arm, the last match, which was the other yellow vaccine, that was super close. I went into the overtime on that third game. One game, I kind of bricked it up a little bit. Then one of his games, he didn't see any level 4s, and I just rushed him and didn't see Patas. The game 3, he ended up getting out Digimon Emperor fairly early, and that gave me a lot of issues. I was playing around it. I had a really strong board presence, but then towards the tail of the game, he caught up and got me on that. So those rapid Mon X's are really hard for this deck if they don't clear. If Numemon doesn't clear rapid X, then you'll lose once they start suspending things. I do have the videos from the tournament, so I will be posting it up once I kind of edit it and make it much shorter than the like 7 to 8 hours that was going on. So like and subscribe. I plan to put up some more videos. I want to put out a video about kind of some longevity decks that I think people might want to possibly invest in the future or think about in the future that will last them for quite a while in the upcoming games.